Hello again, and I hope you are doing well. So, you know my name, Francisca Anene, and I'm the one taking you legal drafting and conveyancing. This is another subject on the course. And of course, I know that as you take part one after one topic after the other, you're getting better, you are becoming excellent drafters, you are mastering the art of legal writing, and you are becoming more skillful. So let's see what today's topic has for us to learn, and let's make progress. Progress is going to be on both ends. You will need to listen, take notes, pay attention, answer the questions, take part in all the activities, and I will also do the teaching and I will answer whatever questions you have during an online class. So let's not waste time. Let's just go. Okay. So this is our sixth lesson, and in this lesson, we'll be looking at lapse and redemption as well as legacy and device. By the end of the lesson, you should be able to define terms like lapse, redemption, legacy, device as they relate to wills. You should be able to explain the doctrine of lapse and exceptions to the doctrine. You should be able to identify when redemption may occur and how to prevent it. And you should be able to differentiate between a legacy and a device. So, quickly to definitions. A lapse refers to failure of a gift under a will due to the fact that the intended beneficiary, predeceased the testator, so he died before the will took effect. For redemption, the gift failed because it was no longer in existence at the point at which the will became effective. So it failed before the testator passed on. A device is a gift of real property under a will, while a legacy is a gift of personal property under a will. Now to the doctrine of lapse. The doctrine is that where a gift lapses, and we have explained what it means to lapse, where a gift lapses due to the death of the beneficiary before the testator, the gift fails and it now falls into the residual estate of the testator. In other words, there's nobody to enjoy that gift. And so the doctrine of lapse is based on the principle that no one who doesn't survive the testator should take under a will, because remember, a will is a testamentary document. It only takes effect after the death of the testator. On this point, you can see the case of Roper and Williams. There are exceptions to this doctrine, and we'll be looking at some of them. First is where there's provision for substitutional gift. That is where the testator names an alternative beneficiary such that if the original beneficiary passes on or predeceases the testator, as long as the alternative beneficiary is still alive, the gift will not lapse. Instead, the alternative beneficiary will enjoy the gift. Second is where the testator expressly in the will makes a declaration that the gift should not lapse. However, a declaration in itself will not be enough. It will be important for the testator to make provisions for a valid substitutional gift, so a valid and alternative beneficiary to enjoy it. And then you have where the law expressly precludes lapse. You can look at, for instance, Section 33 of the Wills Act, which is also reproduced in Section 24 of the Wills Law of Lagos State, where provision is made to remoter descendants under the doctrine of fictional survivorship. Now, remoter descendants are the descendants of, someone who would have enjoyed a beneficiary under a will, but who has predeceased the testator. So ordinarily the gift would lapse, but where there are remoter descendants, then the remoter descendants can enjoy the gift. Okay, so to your first activity, I'd like you to state 4 exceptions to the doctrine of lapse. Take some time and think about it. To the doctrine of ademption, we have explained what ademption means. Ademption means where the gift ceases to exist. There's a beneficiary to enjoy it, but there's no gift for the beneficiary to enjoy. So the doctrine is that where a gift ceases to exist at the death of the testator, the gift by operation of law has failed and therefore cannot be enjoyed by the beneficiary. And a gift may be addeemed for many reasons. Some of them are where, for instance, the testator subsequently disposes of the same gift to another person, maybe by virtue of a codicil or a later will. And then another way, in which ademption can take place is where the nature or ownership of the gift changes. If the gift is no longer for the testator, then of course any beneficiary under the will of the testator cannot enjoy that gift because it's not his to give. And then there's also the presumption against double portion. So where a gift, what that means is that it will be assumed that a gift will adem if in enjoying that gift any of the children of the testator or someone to whom the testator stands in local parentage will be enjoying a double portion of his estate. Now, the way to prevent or avoid ademption is very simple. The testator simply needs to make provisions in his will for money to be taken from his estate. So let's assume the gift, he wants to prevent a lapse, an ademption because the gift is no longer in existence. All he needs to do is to provide in the will that money should be taken from the estate, his estate, and used to purchase the gift intended for the beneficiary, so that the gift will still be there for him to enjoy, even though if not for that subsequent purchase, the gift would not have been found for the beneficiary to enjoy. That's a simple way of preventing or avoiding ademption. Legacy and device. Now, these two words, right, are traditional ways, the traditional style of referring to gifts under a will. In the traditional, under the traditional style, the nature of the gift was was a ground upon which could distinguish between whether the gift is a legacy or a device. However, you must note that in modern times there's no need for this distinction. So a testator, a will can simply say I give, and so it doesn't matter whether it is a gift that should be subject of a legacy or a device. Now, a device is a testamentary gift of real property, immovable property, and of course, the most significant real property, arguably the only real property, is land. So a device is a gift of land, right? And then a legacy is a gift of personal property, movable property. So any other property other than land will be deemed to be personal property. For instance, cars, jewelry, and stuff like that. So to your second activity, I want you to differentiate between a device and a legacy. So we have come to the end of this lesson, and some of the things we have learned are the meaning of lapse, ademption, legacy, and device. We have explored the doctrine of lapse and its exceptions. We have discussed when ademption will occur and how to prevent ademption, and we have distinguished between a legacy and device. This video is downloadable, so you can download it and watch it again and again at your leisure. So it will help you to understand the lesson better. And if you still don't understand anything, just feel free to question. Put your questions on the discussion forum and they will be answered. So until our next lesson, I wish you all the best and take care.